So this week we've got a special episode with our sponsors of the show, the awesome Propstore. They've got, as always, one of their awesome auctions coming up very, very soon on the 14th to the 17th of November, which is going to be live from London, which we all like to watch. And we're joined by Tim Laws. Tim, welcome back to the show. I can't believe I'm not there in person.
Hello, Brian. Good to see you again. And I too am very disappointed you're not here. This is quite the same.
I know, and for me, it's like always going to Disneyland, going to Propstore, getting my hands on some absolute amazing pieces, and looking at what you've got around you right now. Honestly, I don't know how we can unpack all of this in one little episode, but we'll try our best. So we're going to start off. We're going to start off with Gladiator, which is, I've got to say, such good timing with the second movie coming out, which a lot of people are umming and ahhing about going to watch, because Gladiator, of course, you know, literally broke the box office records, and to this day is one of those classic movies that we all go to watch. You know, we put it on the TV, we end up crying, but it's such an excellent film, and you've got some great pieces in front of you, some stunning pieces, if you'd like to talk through them.
Yeah, there's a couple of amazing pieces here, and you're right. I mean, Gladiator 2. I think the initial word seems to be quite positive, you know, which is there's a lot of nervous people about Gladiator 2. As you say, the first one was so good, but that's 2000. You know, that's 24 years ago. It's incredible that it's so long. But I feel like we have here two. You know, if you were going to pick even one prop from the movie, it could be one of these two, because I feel like these are absolutely signature pieces. They're both from Russell Crowe. The Maximus character. We have one of his hero metal swords. This is from the Battle of Germania at the beginning of the movie. And then for me, I think the kind of signature piece for that character is this helmet. He wore it at the Battle of Carthage. To me, I think that you put this in a display case in any house, it's a work of art. It's like a proper, antique. Artifact. It's amazing. It's a beautiful design.
Yeah,
so I mean, start with the helmet.
I mean, you'll definitely put that in a place where if anyone visits your house, that is the first thing that they see for sure. But yeah, go ahead, Tim.
I was going to say that the helmet is made of fiberglass. It's got metal in the paint, so it's got this beautiful metallic finish. Very realistic. I mean, even standing this close to it, it looks like it's made of metal, and it's not. It's a lightweight fiberglass, lightweight but strong. So it would have been very adapt for filming. There is some damage and repair to the tip of the crown there, but you know, for me, this is the piece, isn't it? I just think it screams Gladiator.
And it definitely does, and it's definitely a key piece. I mean, come on, be honest. Have you had that on your head yet?
No, and not, you know, we do give these things the due respect. You know, we're super careful with this stuff when it comes into our hands. You know, pieces like I'm wearing white gloves now. We really do have to look after these items. Invariably, they're not owned by us, so we got a great deal of care to our consigners. You know, it's very important that this stuff's looked after, but at the same time, we have to showcase it for things like this. So it's really important that people see it and can get a look at it. So if you were here, you know, we would put the gloves on you and you'd be able to pick it up and have a look at it. And so that, you know, that is something we like to do.
And you're right in saying that. And I think the term caretaker comes to mind, because whoever is a lucky winner of this auction, you know, they are the caretaker of this item to preserve it for many years to come, because it is a key piece. I mean, it is estimated between 100 to 200,000 pounds, and it's starting at 50. I mean, again, this can only go up in price, and there's so many pieces in this auction that I think it's madness that you know, it's starting at such a low price. But we will go on to that with the Superman pieces, because I've got my opinion on one of the pieces that I think is going to do really, really well. And then obviously you've got the sword there, estimated between 40 to 80,000. I mean, the workmanship in these pieces are just jaw-dropping.
Again, this is a hero prop. So the detail it's metal. There's like a faux ivory on the grip. It's resin, metal, wood. Could have been made Whereas Simon Atherton for me is just the best at his craft. And when he got down to the detail and the intricacies of a hero prop, I don't think anybody matches his work. It's absolutely beautiful. And again, put this in a display case. We take the scabbard off and display them side by side, and you see the work that goes into both. And it's just a phenomenal item. And either of these could be a one and done. You wouldn't need anything else from these movies if you had one of these. And if you're lucky enough to have both of them, then well, yeah, happy days.
And what are the chances of the auctioneer on the actual day, after selling these items, saying, "Are you not entertained?" Please say the auctioneer is going to do that, because that would be fantastic to see.
That is the kind of thing he would say, to be fair.
Yeah, let's plant that seed and let's see if that happens on the day, because it's always fun watching. I've got to say, I mean, I always sit there, have it live, I plug it into the TV and I watch it and I play the game of what is it going to go for, and my wish list in case I win the lottery. But then we move on to the Gremlins.
So we've got three of the Mogwai puppets, and we've also got one of the original Gremlins from the first movie. So we'll start with the three Mogwais here. So these are the classic Mogwais but these are from Gremlins 2. So they are made by the incredible Rick Baker, multi-Oscar winning Rick Baker. These have been assembled from production parts. So there were a number of arms and bodies and partials that were created for filming, and these have been professionally put together again to make them into all creatures. One of them, I think it's the George here, which is nearest to me, still has its arm cable controller. It doesn't work. It's no longer connected properly, but it's still here, which is a really nice little addition. But I think again, if you wanted one piece from this movie, these are the guys, aren't they? Everybody loves them. Everybody remembers them, and it doesn't matter too much which character you go for. I think there's a lot of love for Daffy, of course, at the end there, because he just looks so quirky.
Do you know what? Even the scary looking ones are pretty cute. To be fair, in my opinion,
They are at this stage in their evolution. They're all still quite cuddly, aren't they? And they just turn into utter gits.
Horror movies have come a long way since then. So anything in the Gremlins is still very adorable. And I'm still trying to get my girls to watch it, but they won't, because it's too scary. Which I'm like, how can it be scary? It's excellent. Even the second one, the new batch, I think it's a great film. I really do.
Yeah.
And these are actually, they're not, they're really good price. I mean, 10 to 20,000 for the George, and the Daffy 12.5 to 25 potential.
Yeah. Yeah, no, very, very, very competitive estimates on that, and that was with consideration to the consignor. He was very good about that. But as I say, these are assembled from original parts, so absolutely perfect. And advantage of them being assembled from original parts is that the condition of them is really, really good, because they didn't go through much of the rigors of filming. So that's a huge advantage at this point, so late in their lives.
Excellent. So we look forward to seeing what Gremlins outperform each other. I mean, have you got a personal favourite? Is it Daffy, did you say?
I think so, because you just kind of feel drawn to him, don't you? It just needs a bit looking after.
Excellent. And then going on, I mean, it's very hard to choose. I mean, I had an email just saying, like, what items would you like to talk about? And I'm like, oh my days. Yeah, everyone, please. But obviously, I know that is impossible. But the show won't be complete without talking about some Superman items, because every single auction that you do, you pull out some amazing pieces. And bearing in mind, Superman, 1978. So this is 45 years ago. These props are still around. They're still in great condition for the time that we're in. If you could talk about a few of the pieces that is going to be coming our way for Superman fans out there.
Yeah, and Superman, I think we're really lucky here for Superman, because they were generally shot at Pinewood. There was most of that stuff was kept, after filming. It was put into storage, and there are various routes to the market, but there is so much Superman stuff available, and items that we've handled. Like, there aren't too many Superman pieces now that I haven't seen or handled in person from certainly from the first two movies. And we're really, really lucky that every year comes along and we seem to have another collection of interesting items. So in front of me here, we've got some Fortress of Solitude crystals, which I always think are really, really cool because, you know, again, it's just something that sums the film up for me. And what I like about the big one in on the little plinth there is that there's some green colouring towards the left-hand side there as you're looking at it, and I think that's just interesting. I'm not quite sure how it was used. Different shaped crystals and different length crystals for Fortress of Solitude and the Superman spaceship, and the also the crystals for the compensations. So yeah, these are some more unusual ones, but again, I think that colour is quite intriguing.
And would you say the price of crystals have sort of got better? Because, you know, these are starting out, it's starting at £1,000 and estimated between 2 and 4. I've seen some that have gone for a hell of a lot more than that. So would you say that this is a very conservative sort of estimate and you're expecting it to go a lot higher?
Yeah, I think the art has always been on like the memory crystals, the ones that you see
Yeah.
Marlon Brando and Christopher Reeve use. But these Fortress of Solitude ones, yeah, I really do think they offer a really good option for a Superman fan. I think they've gone for tens of thousands. The plain green would be the top of the tree, and the prices have ranged considerably between this kind of starting point to those green crystals. But yeah, I feel like this could be a nice item for somebody.
Excellent. And Tim, if you do get an email from my wife selling a crystal, which is the one behind me, I don't know if you can see it. It's a bit blurred out. That is one of the original crystals from the Fortress of Solitude as well. Just decline her because she's trying to get me to sell it. And obviously, Propstore would be the first point of call. But I love mine.
No, I would. We got client confidentiality there, Brian. I wouldn't be able to say a thing to you. I'm sorry. That's just something to talk
Darn it. So I won't be communicating your email to her anytime soon. And then it doesn't stop with crystals, the papers, which I think is something I've always wanted to own. Always. And I can remember the first time I came into the Propstore offices, you had a White House surrenders framed paper just in the entrance of your offices. And honestly, I really wanted it, but I never got a chance to actually get it. But tell us about the ones that you've got now, because obviously everyone knows the White House surrenders, but the other one as well.
The White House surrenders is the one I like talking about. It's my favorite. It's the one in those first two movies. It is the one that I remember most. And I know in the first movie you've got the whole Lois Lane exclusive and all the newspapers trying to rush around to get the Superman story. But Daily Planet from Superman 2 is for me the one to own. In fact, I did own one of these myself many years ago, and I sold it, and I've always kind of regretted it because I feel like everybody remembers that headline and Zod there looking Zodish. I love it. That's from Superman 2, obviously. Then we've got the Oils Well That Ends Well headline as well, which is a much more unusual one. I don't know if George can get around there to film that. Can you come across there, George? And both, what I like about these, they both have their original newspapers inside. So there are 1979 copies of the Windsor and Eton Times, I think it is. So obviously the prop department would have made up the covers and put them around real newspapers to bulk them out on set. And it's a really nice. In fact, I'll see if I can do this without causing havoc. But so you see that there?
Yeah. Wow.
Friday, October the 26th, 1979.
That is such a great way to obviously confirm the authenticity of it as well, because obviously, to get that exact paper around that time. And for everyone watching, I love how the way you've displayed them, because I did think for a moment, please say you haven't pinned them to a board. And then I thought, no, Propstore won't do that.
No, it's interesting what you say about authenticity. There's a very distinct look and feel to these papers. Even if there's just the covers, you can tell. And there is a significant amount of on the White House surrenders there, even though it appears quite bright and white. So it's not newspaper paper stock like the paper within it. You can still see the signs of age. There's foxing
Yeah,
all over it, and there's definite aging, definite wear and tear. The Superman 3 paper looks much more like it's made out of a more authentic material for time, because that has yellowed like a newspaper would.
yeah. And then
That
not
too has
only
that. Go on.
yeah, no, I was going to say, and the price again on that I think is very conservative. I mean, 1,000 to 2,000, and this is not for one; it's for both. So they're in the same lot. So not only would you be getting the house, White House surrenders, but you'd be getting the other one as well. And I think it's a
Yeah.
great bargain. I mean, I
Well,
think it's going to go a
again,
lot higher.
yeah, what you're saying about the crystals is true for the newspapers as well. They've gone. We've seen the White House surrender paper go for, I think, like £5,000 at one point.
Wow. Wow. I need to start saving up because I might do a cheeky bid or so on that one. And then you've got the autographs. I don't know if you've got the autographs there, but
Uh,
again,
I don't have them in front of me, but we can certainly
yeah.
uh,
So
add
I'll
the
bring.
pictures up for your
Yeah,
feed.
I will bring up a picture up. And what you're looking at now are the autographs. So this lot has got not one but three autographs. And this is literally a steal. It's so hard to get a genuine Christopher Reeve autograph now. And the great thing about these autographs, they're signed in different times. And anyone that is a Christopher Reeve collector know about the stacked autograph as well as the autograph that he signed at the beginning of his career towards the end. And this is a beautiful example of that, of these pictures and these things signed. And you've got them down as an estimate of 1,000 to 2,000 for three of them.
Yep.
Just to let you
Yep.
know, like the average Christopher Reeve autograph now sells for about £1,200 for one.
Yep.
For one.
Yeah, no, it's the driven by the consigner. He was staggered that they're worth anything at all, which is
Wow.
a nice refreshing thing these days. But as you say, these are really really nice examples. They're all signed to the same gentleman, to his family, and yeah, he was friends with Chris Reeve, and like everybody else, he talks about Chris Reeve, nothing but glowing, uh, you know, memories of what a gentleman he was and of how nice he was to work with.
Yeah. Oh, and of course the documentary that's just come out as well, which I was
We were
gutted
just talking about
because
that, yeah.
Tim, I got invited to go down to watch it with his kids by Warner Brothers UK, but I couldn't go because I wasn't very well. And I was so gutted because I saw friends with pictures of them with Will and Alexandria and Matt. So I was just really annoyed. But yeah, I mean,
I
this
can imagine.
again, starting bids at 500. There's a current bid of £1,000. I think this is going to go a lot higher. How do I know that? It's because I've got quite a few Christopher Reeve autographs at home, and I know how expensive they are for the genuine ones, which these are a beautiful example, really, really are. And then you've got the cravat that Gene Hackman wore in Superman, again an iconic piece. I think it's a great piece, and it's just
I do have that here actually.
yeah. I mean, where do
can
you
grab
find
that. Yep.
all of these? Because it always amazes me. I know that when I first interviewed Stephen Lane, he was saying that back in the day it was quite easy to locate film props, but now it's getting a bit harder. So, I mean, does it make you sort of giddy inside when these sort of things come across your path? Because it must be great.
Oh, totally. I mean, I don't know that Steve never said it was easy. He may have
No,
done. It
no,
was
no,
easier.
no. He said back in the day. Back in
Easier.
the day.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Certainly easier. Yeah. But what's happened now, of course, is the value of these things has gone up. Um, so there are more and more collectors now. And what's happening is many of these items now disappear in auctions, and they're gone for a couple of decades.
Mm,
What you said earlier is very true. We're all just temporary custodians of
yeah.
these items. We have to look after them, but there comes a time when we have to relinquish them. And in an ideal world, we want to see them go to somebody else who's going to love them as much as we do, and
Of
that's
course.
usually the case. But there are more collectors. The prices are generally creeping upwards, um, and I feel that yeah, this stuff is harder to find now. And you're right. When sometimes when the phone rings or the email drops, and there's some crazy good item that you've never even knew was in existence, anything that people will say to me, what's your dream prop? What's the proper costume you want most? And the truthful answer is you don't know, because you don't know what's out there. You could dream
Yeah.
up some crazy item and it doesn't exist. It's lost for all time. And then that phone rings and there it is. Somebody's got it. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's so exciting. Every year we manage to put together some amazing items for our auctions.
It just gets bigger and better, which is great to see. And then your catalog and everything that we see online, it's so exciting this time of the year. And now with LA auctions, they're all over the place. They're happening all the time. And then we've got behind you a very recognizable man, outfit from Spider-Man.
This is so cool. This has come in from the Los Angeles office, and we're all so excited when it got delivered. The first thing I'd say about him, he's really small. I mean, he's towering above me, but he's on quite a big base. So Willem Dafoe is quite a small fella. Um, but it's just the quality of the helmet in particular. It's a hero helmet, so it's fiberglass. There's electrics and remnants of workings inside the helmet. Um, the eyes are just phenomenal. They got a mesh behind the teeth. So just the nicest example I've ever seen of the helmet. Not only that, but we got most of the costume here as well, which is a kind of vinyl suit with fiberglass components. But what stands out, I don't know if you can see it. I guess you can see it a bit on the camera there, but standing here in front of it, it's the paint. It's this kind of iridescent purple
Mm.
green paint, which just looks incredible.
And am I right in saying it's the only full complete costume to ever come to market?
This is the only one of this state that I've ever seen. There's no gloves or boots, unfortunately, but the display is incredible. It really, yeah, we're all very excited to see this, and he was such a good character in those movies that I think it obviously instantly recognizable.
And it's funny you say about the size. I can remember coming over to your offices and seeing a Arnold Schwarzenegger outfit from Terminator, and seeing how like sort of smaller it was in my eyes, because we see these characters a lot bigger on screen than they actually are in person. So it can be a bit shocking but that's the power of film, I suppose. It can make anyone look powerful and scary or anything like that. So
Absolutely.
the question I always ask Tim is, this year, there's so many pieces. Have you got a favorite standout piece for yourself?
For myself, I love Eastwood's Duster from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm a huge fan of Clint Eastwood in general, and those spaghetti westerns in particular. It's just behind the camera there, the TV, the monitor I'm looking at with you. So George has just popped back there too.
Awesome.
Other piece yeah, that's just incredible. So that's come from an Italian costume house. It was thought lost for nearly 60 years. They had no
Wow.
idea in their inventory still. And the duster itself, the shirt is displayed there with it, which is a separate lot. But the duster, it was actually on a rail to go out to another Western when it was identified. So that's pretty incredible. Who knows? I mean, it's probably been rented a number of times since filming in 1966, but it could have been altered. That production could have altered it. They could have dyed it. They could have changed it. So always a bit scary. Always a bit
Yeah.
scary. The other lot I really really like is the Kurt Russell hat from The Thing.
The Thing, yeah.
A wonderful movie. So many, you know, so little from it, but costume pieces are one or two of them have turned up. We've been lucky enough to handle a couple of the costume pieces from The Thing, but I think when you watch the movie again, which I did the other day, that hat is the piece you want. That's the piece you choose. Kurt Russell's hat.
And
that's
is there
just
a
a phenomenal
piece?
thing.
Is there a piece that again in the office, you've had your little guesses on which one is going to really do like amazing, like what some
No, we do that every year. We have a little sweepstakes
do you?
for for the highest value on the day, and also the biggest kind of percentage increase from the estimate. So yeah,
Ah.
we're all going to figure out which go for. There's a few with potential, that's for sure, this year.
So that is under wraps until afterwards. But you'll have to let me know who won the sweepstake and what actually you thought was the best. But Tim, thank you so much for coming on to the show. For everyone that wants to take part, it's quite easy. I would say so. If you can explain to the audience how they can take part.
Well, it's very easy. Easiest thing is just go along to propstore.com. You'll find a link there for our auction and how to sign up. But yeah, you just need to register, and you can bid online. You can bid on the telephone. You can come along on the day. Days the 14th and the 15th are movie and music sort of headline days. They are live events at BAFTA on Piccadilly. They're very welcome to come along. Days 3 and 4 are online only. We still have the auctioneer, but we just don't have an audience for those days. But yeah, just propstore.com and happy bidding.
Oh, is that easy? On this video, I'll have all the links. So if you want to take part, please do. Just click the link below, register. It's so easy, and you could be bidding before you know it. But Tim, look after yourself, keep safe, and stay super, my friend.
You too, Brian. You take care.